Hey everybody, Sarah here. Welcome to day 2 of our restorative experiment. I hope you were able to luxuriate in some juicy restorative last night. Today we're going to be looking at how to set up side-lying Shavasana. This pose is wonderful at any time of the day, just like any restorative pose. It can be really nice after lunch. It is said to aid in digestion. It's also great if you're pregnant. Just be sure to lie on your left side. And that's how we'll be setting it up today. So we're going to be lying on our left side in our side-lying Shavasana. What I have here for props, I have one foam yoga block. If you have any yoga block, that will do. I have 3 blankets and I have 2 bed pillows. If you don't have a yoga block, you can use an extra blanket instead. So let's start with the head setup because like I said yesterday, this is the most important thing is to make sure that our head and our neck are comfortable. So we're going to start there. I'm going to put my block on its lowest height at the top of my mat. If you don't have a block, what you'll do is you'll make a blanket chunk, as I like to call it. So you'll just kind of fold your blanket in till it's nice and chunky, right? And it kind of resembles just a soft block. And you'll put that at the top of your mat instead. So with my block at the top of my mat, I'm going to lay another blanket over it. And you can decide for yourself how thick you want your blanket, how many times you want to fold it, and I'll show you right now why that is. So just to show you the first part of the pose, I'm going to be laying on my left side. Okay, we'll lie on our left hip will be on the mat. Feel free to also pad your left hip with a blanket if you're on something hard. Try to be on a soft surface there since we'll be here for, I don't know, 10 to 20 minutes. And then you're going to lay the left side of your head on that block. When we come into the side-lying Shavasana, you can see that my left arm is lengthening out away from me. Left hand is in line with my left shoulder, and my palm is facing up. That's what we're going to do when we're in the full pose. But I just want to make sure that the support that's under my head is at the right level. So you can see that my head is pretty much in line with the rest of my spine. So what I do not want is I don't want it to be too low. Notice how I'm kind of cranking or shortening in one side of my neck. And then I don't want this to be too high because then I'm going to be shortening the other side of my neck. So I want to find enough support under my head that all sides of my neck are even and there's no strain whatsoever in any part of my neck. And I feel that here. My head feels comfortable. It feels like it can rest without my neck muscles working to hold it there. And that's a really good key point in restorative, something to remember in all of your poses is we don't want our muscles to be working to hold our body up. We want the props to do that for us. So set up your head support first. And then next thing we'll do is we'll set up our little ramp. And this ramp will be set up on the right side of your mat. Okay, so on the right side of your head support. I'm going to fold up one of my pillows. If you want to use a block instead of a pillow, go ahead and do that. And then this can be a pillow or a bolster. So if you have a yoga bolster, you can use a bolster instead. I'm just going to lay this pillow over there. And what I want here is I want to create a little bit of an incline and also boop, a little hole so my arm can slide through. So that arm that I showed you, my left arm that's going to be lengthening out away from me, that's going to slip underneath this top pillow, right? And there's a nice little hole, a little tunnel for it to go through. Okay, and then I like to put another blanket on top to support my top arm because what we'll be doing when we lie down is the right arm will rest on this support. So you want to make sure your elbow is at the right level. And I tend to like my elbow a little bit higher, almost in line with my shoulder because it tends to relax my shoulder. Okay, and then lastly, you'll want some sort of support between your legs, so a blanket or another pillow. But I'm going to bend my knees up toward me. and slide this blanket between my lower legs. And I want to make sure that the blanket supports between my knees, between my shins, and between my ankles, so I don't get that like bone on bone kind of action, right? That can be distracting as we hold the pose. So pad inner knees, inner shins, inner ankles. Okay, and then I'm going to lay down and slide my arm through the support. My head is coming down onto my block and my blanket that I showed you before. And then I really like to feel like I'm spooning something here. It feels comforting. So I'm going to pull my pillows, that pillow ramp, I'm going to pull it toward my body. And having that contact between my pillow and the front of my body just feels really nice for me, but you can decide how close or how far away you want that. And then I take this right arm and place it on top of that ramp. And I'm just checking to see how my right elbow feels, if it's at the right height, and it's a little too low for me. So I'm going to take this blanket that's on top of my pillows. I'm just going to fold it one more time so it's a little bit higher. And then that's perfect. My elbow is just about in line with my right shoulder, which allows my upper arm bone to relax back into the shoulder socket, releasing my muscles so they don't have to work to hold my arm in place. You can also extend this right arm out long and just kind of drape that right arm over the whole pillow, over the side of the pillow, if you prefer that. Knees can be closer up toward the chest, or you can slide your knees further away, whatever works for you. So you'll just have to kind of fidget here as much as you need to find your sweet spot. Okay, and there's your setup, side-lying Shavasana. You can add little bonuses like drape a blanket over your top hip or over your entire body. Add socks if you want socks. Keep your body warm. That's really important. Yeah, and feel free to embellish the pose as much as possible. I'm all about that. So, like, the more blankets, the better. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope you enjoy your restorative tonight, and I'll catch you soon. Thank you.